What if I told you that 5 years from today, you could be completely debt-free, have 6 months of emergency savings, and be earning passive income while you sleep? Not through some get-rich-quick scheme, but through a strategic plan that compounds over time. Most people are stuck in the monthly budget trap, living paycheck to paycheck, never getting ahead. But today, I'm going to show you how to break free with a 5-year financial roadmap that transformed my family's future, and can transform yours too. Here's the brutal truth. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And it's not because they don't budget. It's because they're playing the wrong game entirely. Think about your current approach. You sit down at the beginning of the month. You allocate money to groceries, rent, utilities, maybe some savings if there's anything left. Then the month happens. An unexpected car repair, a medical bill, your kid needs new shoes, and suddenly, you're back to square one. This is what I call financial Groundhog Day. You're budgeting, you're trying, but you're trapped in a 30-day cycle that never builds momentum. It is like trying to climb a mountain by only looking at the next step. You never see the summit. The average American family carries $155,000 in debt. Credit cards, student loans, car payments, mortgages. And when you're only thinking month to month, these mountains feel impossible to climb. But what if you stopped thinking in months and started thinking in years? What if instead of a budget, you built a strategic financial map? This is the fundamental shift that changes everything. We are not abandoning budgets. We are elevating them. We are taking that monthly discipline and channeling it into a compounding, 5-year strategy where each year builds on the last. Think of it like building a house. You don't just show up each day and randomly nail boards together. You follow a blueprint. Foundation first, then framing, then walls, then finishing. Each phase enables the next. Your financial life works the same way. But most people have never been taught to think this way. They've been sold the monthly budget because it feels manageable. But manageable isn't the same as transformational. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the exact 5-year blueprint that took my family from $50,000 in debt with zero savings to debt-free, with a fully funded emergency fund and multiple income streams. This isn't theory. This is the exact roadmap we followed. Year 1 is all about stabilization and creating your financial foundation. This is where most people want to skip ahead, but trust me, skip this and everything else crumbles. First, we are listing every single debt. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, everything. But here's the key. We are not trying to eliminate all debt in year 1. That's unrealistic and sets you up for failure. Instead, we are using the debt snowball method with a twist. List your debts smallest to largest. Attack the smallest one with everything you've got while making minimum payments on the rest. But here's my addition. We resetting a specific target. Eliminate at least 2 debts completely in year 1. Why? Because psychology matters. Closing out 2 accounts gives you momentum. It shows you the system works. For us, we knocked out a $1,200 medical bill and a $3,400 credit card in the first 11 months. That feeling of crossing them off? That's rocket fuel. Simultaneously, and this is critical, you're building a starter emergency fund of $1,000, not $5,000, not 6 months of expenses, just $1,000. Why so small? Because perfection is the enemy of progress. You can hit $1,000 in 2 to 4 months by selling stuff you don't need, picking up 1 extra shift a month, or cutting 1 subscription service. This isn't your forever emergency fund. It's the car broke down and I don't need to use a credit card fund. The year 1 metrics: 2 debts completely eliminated, $1,000 emergency fund fully funded, spending tracker habit established for 60+ consecutive days, and total debt reduced by at least $5,000 to $8,000. This is your foundation. Unsexy, essential, non-negotiable. You've made it through year 1. You've got momentum. You've proven to yourself this works. Now we accelerate. Year 2 is where you go to war with debt. You've got your $1,000 safety net, so now every extra dollar goes to debt. And I mean every dollar. That tax refund? Debt. That bonus? Debt. That $50 you found in an old coat pocket? Okay, maybe treat yourself to dinner, but then back to debt. The goal in year 2: eliminate 50% of your remaining consumer debt. Not your mortgage yet, we'll get there. But credit cards, car loans, personal loans, these high-interest killers need to go. For us, this meant sacrificing. We didn't take a vacation that year. We had a no eating out challenge for 6 months. We sold a car and went down to one vehicle. Were there hard moments? Absolutely. But we eliminated $18,000 in debt that year. $18,000. Once you hit that 50% debt reduction milestone, usually around month 8 or 9 of year 2, you're going to split your extra money. Half continues to debt. The other half builds your emergency fund from $1,000 to 1 month of expenses. Why the split? Because you're building sustainability. You're proving you can save and eliminate debt. This is where the compound effect starts to really kick in. You're not just reducing debt, you're increasing your financial cushion simultaneously. And monthly cash flow increased by $200 to $400. Year 2 is where you start to feel different. You start to breathe easier. You start to believe that financial freedom isn't just a dream, it's actually happening. Welcome to year 3. This is where smart money moves start happening. You're no longer in survival mode, you're in optimization mode. By mid-year 3, you're making your final consumer debt payment. The last credit card, the last car loan, the last personal loan. This is a moment you need to celebrate. Seriously, do something special when this happens. For us, the day we made that final payment, we had a family debt-free party. We took the kids out for ice cream and explained what we'd accomplished. My daughter was 7, and she said, "Does this mean we are rich now?" And I told her, "No, but it means we are free." Now here's where it gets interesting. With your consumer debt gone, you've got significant monthly cash flow freed up. Instead of letting lifestyle inflation eat that money, we are redirecting it into tax-advantaged accounts. First priority: max out your employer 401k match if you haven't already. This is literally free money. If your employer matches 4% and you're not contributing 4%, you're leaving money on the table. Second, open and fund a Roth IRA. For 2024, that's $7,000 per person if you're under 50. If you're married, that's $14,000 combined. This money grows tax-free for decades. Third, if you've got kids, start or increase 529 contributions. Even $100 to $200 per month compounds dramatically over 10 to 15 years. Simultaneously, you're pushing that emergency fund to 3 to 6 months of expenses. This is your fortress. This is what makes you recession-proof, layoff-proof, life-proof. For a family with $4,000 per month in essential expenses. The year 3 metrics: 100% consumer debt eliminated except mortgage, 3 to 6 months expenses in emergency fund, contributing 10 to 15% of income to retirement. Year 4 is where you start thinking like an investor, not just a saver. You've built the foundation. Now we are building the empire. Here's where people split. Some want to aggressively pay off their mortgage. Others want to invest the difference. There's no single right answer. It depends on your interest rate and your risk tolerance. If your mortgage rate is above 6%, I'd lean toward paying it down aggressively. If it's below 4%, you might get better returns investing the money instead. We chose a hybrid. We started making 1 extra mortgage payment per year. That's it. Just 1. You know what that does? It shaves 4 to 7 years off a 30-year mortgage and saves tens of thousands in interest. This is the game changer. Year 4 is when you start building income streams that work while you sleep. This could be dividend-paying index funds. Start with $3,000 to $5,000 in SCHD or VYM. It could be rental property. House hack your first one if possible. Digital products like ebooks or courses if you have expertise. Or a small business side hustle that you can systematize. For us, we started with dividend investing. We took $5,000 and opened a brokerage account with Fidelity. We bought Dividend Aristocrats, companies that have increased their dividends for 25 plus consecutive years. That first dividend check? It was $32. $32. But I'll never forget it because it was money we didn't have to work for. It was our money working for us. Boring but critical. Year 4 is when you get your insurance house in order. Term life insurance for 10-12x your annual income. Umbrella policy for $1 to $2 million. Disability insurance if your job doesn't provide it. And you're setting up or updating your will, designating guardians for kids if applicable, and making sure beneficiaries are updated on all accounts. The Year 4 metrics. First passive income stream generating $50 to $200 per month. Mortgage balance reduced by $10,000 plus extra beyond normal payments if applicable. Year 5. This is what it was all for. This is where financial stress becomes financial freedom. By year 5, you're operating on a different level. You've got your primary income from your job. You've got passive dividend income. Maybe you've got rental income. Maybe you've got a side business that runs semi-automatically. The goal isn't to replace your job income, not yet. The goal is to have 3 to 4 income sources that together provide options and security. Our Year 5 breakdown: primary job income was 70% of total. Dividend income was $400 per month, which is 5%. Rental property brought in $650 per month, which is 8%. And freelance work added $1,400 per month, which is 17%. Notice something? If I lost my job, we'd still have 30% of our income coming in. That's not survival level, but it's breathing room. It's options. It's freedom. With no consumer debt, a fully funded emergency fund, and multiple income streams, you're now in wealth acceleration mode. You're maxing out retirement accounts. You're building a taxable investment portfolio. You're re-looking at rental property number 2 or investment property number 1. This is where compound interest becomes your best friend. That $5,000 you invested in year 4, it's now worth $6,100 and kicking off $220 per year in dividends that reinvest automatically. Here's where you and your family have an important conversation. What does enough look like? Because you could keep grinding, keep investing every dollar, keep sacrificing. Or you could start enjoying the fruits of 5 years of discipline. We decided on a 70-30 split. 70% of our increased cash flow continues to investing and wealth building. 30% goes to lifestyle upgrades, the family vacation we'd been putting off, the home renovation we wanted, the nicer date nights. Because here's the truth. Money is a tool, not the goal. The goal is freedom, security, and the ability to live life on your terms. The Year 5 metrics: 3 to 4 active income streams. Net worth increased by $100,000 plus from year 1. Retirement accounts on track for comfortable retirement. Passive income covering 20 to 30% of monthly expenses, and financial stress reduced by 80 to 90%. After 5 years, you're not just financially different, you're psychologically different. You sleep better. You stress less. You have options. And that, more than any dollar amount, is what this whole journey is about. Let me show you the real math. Because numbers don't lie. Starting point: $50,000 in consumer debt, $0 in emergency savings, $0 in passive income, living paycheck to paycheck, credit score of 620, and monthly stress level at 10 out of 10. After 5 years, $0 in consumer debt except mortgage, which was reduced by $40,000 extra. $18,000 in emergency fund, $2,400 per year in passive income, which is $200 per month, $45,000 in retirement accounts, $25,000 in taxable investments, credit score of 780, and monthly stress level at 2 out of 10. But here's what the numbers do and show. My wife and I do and fight about money anymore. My kids see parents who are in control, not stressed. I actually sleep through the night. I say no to my boss when I need to because I have options. That's what this 5-year plan really delivers. Not just wealth, freedom. So here's what you do today. Not tomorrow. Today. Step 1. List every single debt and its balance. Every single one. Step 2. Calculate your monthly essential expenses. Not what you spend, what you absolutely need to survive. Step 3. Commit to year 1 goals. $1,000 emergency fund and 2 debts eliminated. Write them down. Put them somewhere you'll see every day. Step 4. Track every expense for 30 days. You can't improve what you don't measure. This plan isn't complicated, but it is hard. It requires discipline when your friends are taking vacations. It requires sacrifice when you want to upgrade your car. It requires patience when you want results now. But 5 years from now, you're going to be somewhere. The only question is, will you be in the same place you are today, or will you have transformed your family's financial future? The choice is yours. The roadmap is clear. Now it's time to take the first step. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Drop a comment telling me which year you're starting in, or if you're already on this journey, where you are. And subscribe because I'm releasing a deep dive video on each year of this plan over the next few months. Your financial freedom journey starts now. Let's go. This is your future. Go build it.